We have the cooperation with some schools of and universities in India in different areas as social sciences, as medicine, as pharmacy, and we are open, and I believe that the cooperation between our university with our Indian colleagues will be growing up. And 2 years ago, the Vice Rector, Professor Shkara, visiting with the Rector's delegation the Indian universities and discussing the cooperation. As I mentioned, the Indology department is integrated part of the School of Arts on our school, and there is a unique program which not only learn the languages but learn also our colleagues in our society about the history of India and also about the development of Indian Republic. We believe and we are interested on increasing the cooperation with Indian institution, and I believe that which we starting many years ago will be growing up, and also for development research in science. We have the 5 postdocs from India in fields as physics, bioinformatics, biochemistry, and organic chemistry, which are very promising colleagues in our institutions. And we have a support from this exchange, which is called the Fund of Mobility, which supported the exchange of students all around the world for students and professors coming to Czech Republic on our university and also abroad. And there are the many students participating on this support. Mr. President, thank you very much for your kind visit to our university, and I believe that your visit in Czech Republic will more promote and make more deep and close cooperation between Czech Republic, India, and between institutions focusing for education and science. Thank you very much, and I will finishing with the classical Latin formula which we're using on the ceremonies. Quod bonum felix faustum fortunatum quae eveniat. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Magnificence, for your words. Now, I would like to give the floor to Mr. Jaroslav Strnad from the Institute of South and Central Asia, Faculty of Arts, Charles University, who will speak about the history of Indian studies at our university.
Thank you. Honorable President of the Republic of India, Shri Ram Nath Kovind, Excellencies, Your Magnificence, Rector of the Charles University, Professor Tomáš Zima, dear guests. I feel it a great honor conferred on me by the university to have the opportunity on this occasion to recapitulate in a few words the most important milestones on the path of development of Indian studies at the Charles University in Prague. At the beginning, however, few words on the general cultural and political background are necessary. The scholarly interest in India didn't grow up from a sheer intellectual curiosity, or, on the other hand, as was the case of England, for example, from the needs of a colonial power to collect information in order to exercise effectively its power over the colonized subjects. In the case of Czech Indology, the situation was rather the opposite. The beginnings of Indian studies in the Czech lands reflected, to a large extent, the tortuous path of the Czech nation toward greater autonomy in the field of language, culture, and political rights within the Austrian Empire. In fact, the political and cultural program of the national revivalist movement reminds us more of the emancipatory aspirations of colonial subjects rather than of ideas of European colonial masters. Its specific feature, particularly in its early phase, was a strong linguistic component motivated by the need to secure for the Czech language the same status and prestige that was enjoyed by the dominant German language. The Czech revivalists were enchanted by the discovery of historical relationship of the Slavic language group with the highly prestigious language of Old India, the Vedic and Sanskrit. The first Czech scholar who noticed this similarity and took serious interest in the comparative study of Slavic languages and Sanskrit was Josef Dobrovský, founder of Slavic linguistics in Bohemia. In the 1840s, the a bit idealized and strongly linguistic interest in Indian topics gradually gave way to a more practically oriented reports about India. Thus, in 1845, the Czech journal Česká včela, the Czech bee, published an extended and well-informed article describing the enlightened activities of Ram Mohan Rai and Dwarkanath Tagore. The author emphasizes their efforts at cultural and economic improvement, and evidently, the aim of this article was not simply to provide information about events in a distant and still a little-known country, but to present an exemplary model of enlightened patriotism, one which devoted its energy to economic and social progress, a model for Dwarkanath's Czech contemporaries. Significantly, the author closes his text with words of praise and exhortation. I quote, "We have noted this example in order to remind ourselves of the fact that the well-being of the nation rests in the progress of education. If our education too is to make progress, let's learn from the sons of that country. Blessed be the nation which has these Dwarkanaths." End of quotation. In the eyes of the educated Czech public, the Indian struggle for national emancipation made the Indians look like distant allies. 8 years after the publication of this article, the study of Indian subjects received another important impulse when the Charles Ferdinand University, as this institution was called at that time, offered the chair of the first ordinary professor of comparative linguistics and Sanskrit to a German linguist, August Schleicher. Schleicher quickly learned the Czech language, and in fact the first Czech translations from Sanskrit, the Mahabharata myth about the deluge and the story about Nala and Damayanti, are from his pen. Both Schleicher and his successor in the chair of Sanskrit, Alfred Ludwig, had wide and important contacts with the cultured Czech society and contributed to its better understanding of classical Indian civilization. Ludwig's 6-volume translation of the Rig Veda remained for many years a standing monument of Central European Indological scholarship. After the division of the Charles Ferdinand University in 1882, Indian studies developed in 2 branches, Czech and German. Soon, their research interests began to diverge. The German Indological Seminar, under the leadership of Professor Moritz Winternitz, continued with the study of classical Indian civilization. The most important contribution was his world-famous 3-volume History of Indian Literature. On the other hand, after the emergence of independent Czechoslovakia in 1918, scholars active in the Czech branch began to pay greater attention to modern Indian languages. The leading figure here was Professor Vincent Lesny, who devoted great part of his scholarly activities to learning Marathi, Hindi, and particularly Bengali language. As the first and highly erudite Czech scholar of the Bengali language, he turned to translating works of Rabindranath Tagore and soon developed cordial relationships with the great Indian poet. Both he and Winternitz were invited by Tagore to his University of Shantiniketan for research and teaching. Lesny and his worthy successor in classical Indian and Bengali studies, Dušan Zbavitel, translated virtually the entire Tagore's oeuvre into Czech language. The popularity of Tagore in Czechoslovakia, increased by his 2 visits to Prague in 1921 and 1926, was immense. But Tagore was not the only visitor. Both political and economic considerations motivated 3 visits of Subhash Chandra Bose in the 1930s and Jawaharlal Nehru's visit during the Munich crisis in 1938. Both Walsh and Nehru counted as Lesny's friends. After the Second World War, and particularly after the communist takeover in 1948, the relations between Czechoslovakia and the now independent India took a new turn. The interest of the general public in Indian culture, of course, persisted. But friendship between Nehru's and later Indira Gandhi's India on the one hand and socialist Czechoslovakia on the other was now to a large extent institutionalized. In the Indological department of the now exclusively Czech Charles University, the stress remained on a regular teaching of the three modern Indian languages, Hindi, Bengali, and Tamil. The victim of the ideologically restricted interest were, of course, the more spiritual aspects of Indian culture and also Sanskrit. The fall of the communist bloc at the turn of the 1990s and the partition of Czechoslovakia in 1993 brought with it a need to renegotiate a number of existing bilateral agreements. Then, the resolute turn of the new Czech government toward the Western world led to a certain decline of interest in developing political and economic relations with India. And India, after the fall of the Soviet Union, too looked for new partnerships. One aspect of the mutual relations which has not suffered, but on the contrary could finally flourish, has been the free flow of information in the field of culture, this time unconstrained by the official ideological straitjacket. I believe that it will be again the study of languages and a free cultural exchange between the two partner countries, which will create the necessary and enduring conditions for sustained positive relationships even in the other fields, despite various historical discontinuities which are not so uncommon, particularly in our part of the world. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sternat, for your nice lecture about a long and interesting history of Indian studies at Charles University. Now, after your lecture, let me welcome our students of Indology, who will say a few words in the 4 languages that are taught at the Faculty of Arts. Mr. Matěj Štál, Ms. Zuzana Špicová, Ms. Simona Čilová, and Mr. Michal Havránek.
राष्ट्रपति महोदय श्री राम नाथ कोविंद, मुझे अपना परिचय देने दीजिए। मेरा नाम मतेश ष्टाल है और मैं चारोस विश्वविद्यालय में भारत विद्या और हिंदी भाषा का छात्र हूँ। हमारे विश्वविद्यालय में भारत विद्या के अध्यापन की परंपरा लंबे समय से चली आ रही है। यहाँ तो न केवल संस्कृत भाषा बल्कि पहले विश्व युद्ध के बाद से ही आधुनिक भारतीय भाषाएं भी पढ़ाए जाने लगे। प्रोफेसर विंसेंट लेस्नी, ओटोकर पेरटोल्ड और विंसेंट पुरीस्का ने भारत विद्या को ये नई दिशा दी। भारत एक महान, महत्वपूर्ण और हमारे लिए बहुत रोचक देश है। मुझे आशा है कि विश्वविद्यालय में अध्ययन समाप्त करने के बाद भी मैं भारत संस्कृति और भाषाओं की अभिरुचि जारी रख सकूंगा। धन्यवाद।
আপনাদের সবাইকে সাদর নমস্কার। আমার নাম সুজানা শপিচová এবং আমি চার্লস বিশ্ববিদ্যালয়ে সংস্কৃত ও বাংলা ভাষা নিয়ে পড়াশোনা করি। এক সময়ে বাংলা সাহিত্যের প্রেমে পড়ে আমি বাংলা ভাষাও শিখতে শুরু করেছিলাম। বাংলা সাহিত্য আমাদের দেশে খুবই জনপ্রিয়। প্রথম বাঙালি যিনি রবীন্দ্রনাথের রচনা বাংলা মূল থেকেই অনুবাদ করেন তিনি হলেন চার্লস বিশ্ববিদ্যালয়ের অধ্যাপক ডাক্তার ভিনসেন্ট লেসনি। তার গীতাঞ্জলি কবিতা ও একটি ছোট গল্পের অনুবাদ বেরিয়েছে 1914 সালে। রবীন্দ্রনাথ ও ভিনসেন্ট লেসনির সম্পর্ক ছিল ইতরেতর শ্রদ্ধা ও মিত্রত্বপূর্ণ। তাকে পূর্ব পশ্চিমের মিলনও বলা যায়। এতদতিরিক্ত চেক পাঠকেরা आजकल तादेर निजत्व मातृभाषाয় অন্যান্য বাংলা বই পড়তে পারে। রবীন্দ্রনাথ ও শক্তির কবিতা, আশাপূর্ণা ও সুনীলের ছোটগল্প এবং বিভূতিভূষণ, শঙ্কর ও শরৎচন্দ্রের উপন্যাস। সেইসব বই থেকে চেক পাঠক বাংলা সাহিত্য, প্রকৃতি, মানুষ মানুষের চরিত্র এবং হৃদয়ের সৌন্দর্য ও মাধুর্য বুঝতে পারে। সাহিত্য দ্বারাই মানুষের পরস্পর পরিচয় ঘটে এবং ফলে মিত্রত্ব, আদর ও ভালোবাসা বিকশিত হয়। আজকালও চেক ভাষায় বাংলা বই অনুবাদিত হয়, ভবিষ্যতেও হবে। তাই আমাদের দুই দেশের মধ্যে সম্পর্কটি আরও ঘনিষ্ঠ হয়ে উঠবে, এটা হচ্ছে আমার দৃঢ় বিশ্বাস। ধন্যবাদ।
Jen pěk Simona Cílová, nálenda palkalikarahattil Tamil Podikrén. Tamil Morine kreml Podikum, ade Kashtamana Anal Arahana Mori. Arra Yorubada Varushatika Munnadi, inda palkalikarahattil, Perasriar Kamil Zvelabil Presidendar. Adar Kapin Avar Tamil Mori Arachil, Aliha Sirappa Petridendar. Tamil Mori Patri, Nereya Putahatte Baditar, ಅವರುடைய முயற்சிகள் தரமான தான் இந்த பல்கலைக்கழகத்தில் தமிழ் மொழியை சொல்லிக் கொடுக்க ஆரம்பித்தார்கள். தமிழ் மொழியை விட நான் கொஞ்சம் சம்ஸ்கிருதமும் படித்தேன். பேராசிரியர்கள் மூலம் இந்தியாவின் சமுதாயத்தை பற்றி நிறைய தகவல்கள் கற்றுக்கொண்டேன். நான் 2 தடவை இந்தியாவுக்கு போயிருக்கிறேன். இந்தியாவின் ஜனாதிபதி முன்னிலையில் இதெல்லாம் தமிழ் சொல்ல எனக்கு ரொம்ப சந்தோஷம். வணக்கம்.
Hadramastु. Michal Havránek नाम में अस्माकं विश्वविद्यालये संस्कृतं पठामि. एषा भाषा मह्यम् अतीव रोचते, यतस्तस्यां मधुरा दिव्या पुराणा विद्या च। देशेन संस्कृतपठनस्य परम्परा दीर्घकाला। 90 शताब्द्यां राष्ट्रियः समुद्भवोत्तरारभ्य बहवोऽस्मद्देशस्य पण्डिताः कवयश्च संस्कृते स्वमनांस् अयोजयन्। 90 शताब्द्या मध्यात् प्रभृति विश्वविद्यालये संस्कृतं वृद्धम्। अस्मद्नगरेण विश्वविद्यालयेन च कतिचित् श्रेष्ठाः पण्डिताः संयुक्ताः। Moritz Winternitz, Oldrich Frisch, Ivo Fischer, Dušans Bavitel. एतानि नामानि सर्वाणि विश्रुतानि। बहूनि शास्त्राणि अनुवादितानि च। तथा हि भगवद्गीता, उपनिषदः, मानवधर्मशास्त्रम्, अर्थशास्त्रम्, कथासरित्सागरम्। पूर्वगमानां गुरूणां च परम्परास्माभिर्भक्तव्या एष धर्मो नः।
Dear colleagues, thank you very much for your short, lovely speeches. And now, I would like to ask His Excellency, President of the Republic of India, Mr. Ram Nath Kovind, for his first speech.
Professor Dr. Thomas Jima, Rector of the Science University, faculty members, and dear students. Dobre Ram, Namaskar. A moment ago, when all these 4 students of Indology department were speaking in their respective languages, one was in Hindi, second was in Bengali, third one is in Tamil, and the fourth one is Sanskrit. When they were speaking, At that moment of time, I thought I am not in Czech Republic. Rather, I am in one of the universities in India. Thank you very much. I am delighted to be here and to share my thoughts with you. I take this opportunity to thank Dr. Jima, Rector of the Charles University, and the faculty members for providing me an opportunity to witness the rich history of this temple of learning. I am impressed by your presentations in different languages of India. I deeply appreciate your pursuit of knowledge and academic excellence as students of Indology. Charles University is known to be one of the oldest institutions in Europe with a long tradition of scholarship. As I speak here, I feel proud to be at such a great seat of knowledge. It delights me that Rabindranath Tagore, our national poet and one of the greatest sons of India, once came to this very campus and delivered a thought-provoking speech captivating many. He is the one who called Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi Mahatma, that is, the great soul first. I had just had the honor to illuminate the life and legacy of our Father of Nation and pay my respects. On 2nd October, in less than a month's time from now, we would be launching our worldwide celebrations of his 150th birthday. I do hope all of you will join us. It is interesting to trace the history of interaction between our two countries. It goes much before the links established by Indologists. It may amuse you, but about a millennia back, the Kingdom of Bohemia and India had a flourishing trade in spices and silk. On that shared past, today we have built a strong contemporary partnership. Indology has a very old tradition in Prague, starting with the establishment of a chair in Sanskrit at this university in 1850. Professor Lesny was one of the founding fathers of the Czech School of Indology and a friend of Rabindranath Tagore. He was the first European Indologist who translated Tagore's poetry directly from Bengali instead of using English translations. On the invitation of Professor Lesny, Tagore visited erstwhile Czechoslovakia in 1921 and 1926. I take this moment in paying my personal homage to Dr. Hanna Fredhel-Perova, who has recently passed away. Dr. Hanna has done remarkable work on Tagore and other Indian subjects. Tagore's interaction with the scholars in Czechoslovakia left a deep impact on them. The installation of his bust in Prague and naming the train station Thakurova after him is a homage to our national poet and his poetic genius. Professor Dusan Joabitel, student of Professor Lesny, carried forward the tradition and studied various Indian subjects. He has translated 60 Sanskrit works, including the Upanishads, and was conferred with the highly prestigious award, the Padma Bhushan, in 2006 for his contribution to Indology by the Government of India. Another Indologist, Yusuf Jubati, wrote extensively on Vedic literature and Indian epics. All these Indologists exposed the lyrical beauty of Indian literature to the Czech people, bringing our cultural traditions closer to each other. Although Indology began almost 2 centuries ago with the study of Sanskrit texts, its ambit today has become much broader. The field of Indology exemplifies how specialists across disciplines often come together to offer a deeper understanding of Indian culture and civilization. Remote sensing studies of the Ghaggar-Hakra basin have changed our understanding of the Harappan civilization and the role of a lost river, Saraswati, that once flowed in those plains and was celebrated in Vedic literature. This wonderful cooperation among different disciplines presents a great opportunity to rediscover aspects of Indian wisdom that can solve many of our contemporary problems. Studies on yoga have confirmed the positive impact it has on human health and well-being. I am happy to learn that yoga and Ayurveda have been receiving overwhelming support and interest in the Czech Republic. Indology has not just brought our two countries together, it has had an enormous impact in the making of modern India. It rediscovered India's rich past and triggered a cultural awakening. It enabled India to imbibe and assimilate modernity without letting go of its cultural roots. From Vidyasagar to Vivekananda and from Tagore to Mahatma Gandhi, one finds that the socio-cultural modernization of India was built upon a foundation that emphasized an organic synthesis of the Eastern and Western thought. Indological studies continue to bind the world into that universal family where there are no barriers and no walls. I am delighted to know that about 500 Indian students are pursuing their studies at various universities in the Czech Republic. Many of them have completed their studies and are working as lecturers and scientists. In them, you will find great support for our Indological pursuits. Ladies and gentlemen, I once again take this opportunity to thank the Rector of the Charles University and all the faculty members for their relentless efforts to bring our two peoples and cultures together. I wish you all success in completing your education and realizing your dreams. Please allow me to say thank you in your own language, Dakui Bam.
Your Excellency, Mr. President, thank you very much for your impressive speech. It was really a great pleasure for us and a great honor for us to listen to your wise words. I can assure you that at Charles University there are a lot of friends of your lovely country as well as your people. Now, I would like to ask His Magnificence, Rector of Charles University, Professor Tomáš Zima, to confer a gold commemorative medal of Charles University on President of the Republic of India.
Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, Charles University, one of the oldest universities in Europe, through its historical tradition, expresses its recognition and honor for those who have made exceptional contribution to education and common good. The Charles University Gold Medal, which bears the stamps of the original historical seal of the university, is awarded as an expression of our recognition and honor. Allow me, Your Excellency, President of India, at this ceremonial moment to present you with the Charles University Gold Medal as an expression of friendship and deep respect to you.